Va salute. This is Troy Pacelli of Last Call, and I'm just here to let you know that the following live stream is rated R for adult language, highly inappropriate jokes, and oh, who the are we kidding? We have no idea what is going to come out of Gorilla's mouth. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Waltons review, where we are reviewing the season 3 episodes 1 and 2 of the Waltons. They're called The Conflict. With me, I got Resolute Germ. How are you doing?
Okay, how you doing, Gorilla?
Well, I haven't spacked anybody today, so.
That's unfortunate. You gotta get on that.
Yeah, but that's generally frowned upon at work. I think I drank a little too much at DJ's stream last night.
Yeah, I'm surprised you actually made it up today.
Yeah, it was actually on time for work today, too. Then, how are you doing, PvP?
Oh, not too bad. I finally went to the store and got another printer that's sitting on my table out in the kitchen. I'm going to try and hook that sucker up sometime tonight or maybe tomorrow morning, and hopefully I'll finally be able to print something again, because my old printer, though I've updated the drivers several times and done every damn tweak I can think of doing, it still is giving me blank pages when I try and print anything, so it's a pain. So hopefully the new one's going to solve that problem.
Well, try and does are two different things.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I've been working on it for a couple of weeks now, and I just can't. I've tried everything I can think of trying, and I don't know.
All right, so we ready to get started?
Yep.
Yeah,
All right, we're at our prologue here. We got a long one here.
Uh-oh. That's what she said.
Hey, long doesn't always mean better. That's
true.
All right, the prologue. When I was growing up on Waltons Mountain, I had a tendency to think of myself and my immediate family as the only Waltons, but that wasn't true. We were part of a great clan. There were other mountains and many other Waltons who lived farther up the Blue Ridge. They were part of the family whose way had scarcely been touched by the passing of time. We were a family born to share a kinship with the seasons, always gratefully accepting that which the land gave, but living in the knowledge of that weather and misfortune could take it away. One summer, we were to learn that man also could take away what the land had given. And that was a long one.
Well, it's a long episode. Was this originally a 90-minute episode, or was it in two parts?
It's a two-parter. See, when it originally aired on TV, if they're going to have these long episodes, they had to split them off into 1 and 2.
Okay.
2 episodes because they could not exceed that 60-minute time. So this would originally been 2 hours on TV. But they saved these episodes here for the beginning of the season. There, it seems like, when they do these 90-minute stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, the specials.
Yeah, it's a special. All right, so here we got the whole family there. Over the mountain she comes. They're all sitting back there, and they're just singing away while they're talking. But I love how Grandpa was telling them how they what the next words were going to be. Because like he'd say what the next words would be, then the whole family would sing along with it.
Well, someone has to be the lead singer, and then the others have to be the backup.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grandpa's probably sung these songs 100 times before as well, so makes sense.
Yeah, so they're just singing along, and then, man, I remember we were riding back in the back of the truck on my grandpa's. They're coming back from the lake house to my grandpa's place. I just stood up just a little bit. I got my ass whooped, unlike John Boy here, who just stood up. I got my ass whooped for that one. But
Yeah,
of course,
well, John wasn't facing a $250 ticket.
oh, these are all back roads, but of course, trucks go a lot faster nowadays than they did in those days.
Now, I imagine the laws weren't quite as restrictive back then either in the 30s. They probably could get away with this with no issues.
Oh yeah, no one would have had a problem back then.
I remember even the 60s as a kid, I probably rode in the back of a pickup truck a couple times and nobody thought nothing of it back then. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, we rode in the back of the truck. Well, there was there is 2 adults and 9 grandchildren all going. So
Sounds like a Waltons moment.
yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, let's see. My aunt Sherry had 3 kids. My dad had 3 kids. My aunt Vicky had 1 kid. My aunt Brenda had 2 kids.
There you go.
So you had sort of a mobile daycare going on.
So, alrighty. So, I got to stop at the 4-minute and 15-second plot there. But yeah, yep, they're just singing along. Then we had this. They're setting up what would you call it? A national park and a freeway that's supposed to go all the way down to Atlanta there. Going through the Blue Ridge there. Which, did they really even need a highway like that?
They didn't really need anything that Roosevelt was making back then, but he still made them anyway.
Yeah. Well, I know our whole.
I
What was
think
that,
they mentioned partway through the episode it was a make work project, like a lot of stuff in the 30s, just to keep the economy going and keep people, making a little bit of money to keep them going, kind of thing. So
Oh,
I think it was a
Keep
make
the
work
plate
thing.
spinning.
Yeah,
It was a
It
make
really
work thing.
didn't help anything. It just made people think that everything wasn't crashing and burning around them.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the hope is valuable too in a bad time like that.
Yeah, it's a CCC project there, like because like our interstate system actually serves a purpose. It's actually modeled
Now,
after. Well, the original purpose was that it is that they modeled it after the Autobahn to quickly move our military across country if they need be there, and also as emergency landing strips for our fighter jets, and the bridges could be used as hangars.
That's cool.
Now our planes are
none
too
of which
big for
applies
that.
to the 30s.
Yeah, this is before the interstate system in the Cold War.
Well, even though the road might have not been necessary back in 1936 or whatever when this episode takes place, I can imagine maybe a decade later people might have been getting a lot of use out of it. So eventually it probably became a useful road, I would guess.
Yeah. And hey there, Taylor Swift. Welcome.
Hey, Taylor Swift.
It gives us our turquoise waving hands.
Mhm.
I'm glad that StreamYard fixed that.
Fixed what?
Oh, it used to be say turquoise hand waving,
Oh.
turquoise hand waving, turquoise hand waving.
Right, you never saw the emojis before. Okay, I got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it came through in just straight code.
Right, I remember now. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So anyhow, they're taking the scenic route home there, and they're laying just a bumpy old road. I've taken the scenic route home a few times. So Owen likes old rustic road.
Sometimes the back road can kind of be fun to drive on.
Yeah.
If you're not in a hurry to go anywhere,
Yeah.
And don't mind running into some things you don't want to see.
Yeah.
I know. I've always had
to
good.
connect up with the Great Smokey Mountains.
Yeah. Okay, so it's going through the mountains over to Tennessee. I thought it was going down to Georgia, but no, it's going to go through the Smoky Mountains out to Tennessee there. So apparently, Elizabeth has to go potty, but she doesn't want to go in the weeds. Oh, come on.
Come on, Elizabeth. You're a Walton. You could go in the weeds.
Yeah. Oh, that's not that bad. All right, so.
This is some kin of yours, Elizabeth. No more than a spit and throw from this very
red. So, if you look, it's around this mark here. If you look real closely, I think you can see you're supposed to see some people behind Zeb.
Road.
Oh no, never mind. I couldn't see it. But yeah, these guys are just, I don't know why they're just passing one dirt from one pile to another. You ever notice that? They're just doing they're shoveling dirt from the small pile into the big pile there. That's
Yeah, it
all they're
makes you
doing.
kind of wonder. It's
Yeah,
kind of like
that's half those work projects were.
it's kind of like
Literally,
well,
dig a
it's
hole,
even like
fill a hole.
it's like those road crews now. They got like 5 guys, and the one guy's doing the work, and the other 4 are standing around talking, right? So it's
Well,
like, yeah,
well, you want to know what I'd do if I was the one working? I'd find an old pair of work boots in there and stick the sole, the part where you insert your feet into the tar.
yeah,
That would be
yeah.
that'd be one hell of a prank to play on the supervisor there when he finds just a pair of boots stuck in the tar.
Joke's on you. That's government work. They just cover it over.
Yeah. There's a reason I don't work in construction. So yeah, they're just digging, they're watching there, and they're
Yeah,
and they're
just
watching all these families here.
yeah, they're all
Just
getting booted out.
this falls under eminent domain, doesn't it?
Yep. Where the government takes everything you have and gives you something close to about a third the value.
That they claim is the actual value. But
Yeah.
you can't trust the numbers because right now they're trying to say Mar-a-Lago is only worth what, 18 million?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could not believe that Mar-a-Lago they said was worth only 18 million. It's in the most expensive real estate. It's on a peninsula. They're surrounded by oceanfront property there, and then not only that, it's 168 rooms on business property. Yeah, they could at least give it us something believable. Yeah, so they're asking where everybody's going. You know, blah blah blah. They're all leaving. Yeah, they asked how far east.
2 miles this side of
Blue Rock. I thought Blue Rock Creek. So apparently they use the creeks as the landmarks. So yeah, that's gonna go right through Boone's place. And what was her name? That old lady.
Oh gosh,
Martha Corrine.
was it Martha? Okay.
Wait. I got this. Doesn't make us. This doesn't make sense. How Boone's her son, right?
Yep.
He's
So.
He's a Walton. So
Yeah.
how come she's not a Walton?
She married a Walton.
So why
She
did
married
keep
Zed's brother.
Her husband was a Walton.
Yeah, but so why did she not keep his last name after he passed away?
She did.
But
her maiden name becomes effectively her middle name at that point.
Yeah, but she's looking down as Martha Corrine.
Well, she's a Walton by marriage, I guess. So
Yeah, Martha Corrine Walton.
And after he passed away, the Walton just got dropped off.
They just refer to her as Martha Corrine because that becomes her name effectively. It's sort of like Mary Sue or whatever, a 2-name first name.
Okay. All righty. Oh, we got private chat.
I just posted in the private chat an interview with Cammie Kotler, who played Elizabeth, because we mentioned Elizabeth a while ago, and it's actually a pretty good interview. It's just about a year ago, so it's pretty current, and yeah, it's a pretty interesting interview. I watched some of it earlier.
Okay. Let's put that in the regular chat for people there. Copy. Comments. Hey, so what we're putting here is that interview in the chat. I think you're a mod, aren't you, PvP?
What's that?
Aren't you a mod?
Let me check. Let me check. Go over to the stream and type in
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. So apparently, Zeb's brother's name was
Oh, yeah.
Henry.
I am a mod. Do you want me to post it, or did you post it?
I posted it.
Okay.
Well, yeah, feel free to post links in the chat if you got those in that.
Okay.
But anyway,
I will.
okay. And here's Zeb. Apparently, we find out Zeb's older brother was Henry. I don't know how many brothers Zeb had.
Did they ever mention a brother before in the first 2 seasons?
Well, we
They
knew there's
mentioned he had siblings, but they didn't talk about any of them specific.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the first time we have a name to a brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we see Boone. I thought he was Grandpa's brother, but it turns out he's Grandpa's nephew.
Yeah.
And Wade would be his great nephew. Because he's the great
Let's see, your
son.
nephew, great
Well,
nephew.
he's his nephew's son, so
He's his nephew's grandson.
Yeah, so he'd be a great nephew to Zeb here. So, and it, yeah, Grandma's not too fond because Zeb's gonna try or Boone's gonna try to sell off the homemade whiskey there. And Grandpa wants to stop to see him, but John says maybe tomorrow. They'll do it first thing in the morning because it's running late because he decided to take the scenic route. And here they are, Boone and Wade. So they get to see him anyhow.
yeah, so much for
this is
seeing him
kinda-
tomorrow.
Oh, we all remember Boone because John Boy had to bail him out of jail. Hey, wait, isn't John Boy supposed to be keeping him out of trouble?
Not yet.
No, well, jail. Wasn't he on probation for like 2 years for running moonshine?
No.
Well,
We haven't met Boone yet.
Yeah, we have. Counting with John moved away or selling. Nope, that's not what I want. Continuity. No, I swear we had another Boone episode. But yeah, this is their cousins up at Rockfish there.
well, he still seems to have plenty of moonshine, which they partake in coming up not too far from now, if I remember.
All right, so here I'm gonna play a little bit of this.
Government sent him in building big roads out west. Move on, Blake says. Got to move on. This here property is condemned for the reasons of making a park.
Okay. Oh yeah. So yeah, he's telling the story about the guy coming up, Mr. Blake telling him that, get the fuck out. We're taking your property for making it free park. Well, I found the episode I was thinking of. It was when I was watching it with my mom. So yeah, I was wrong. We haven't got to that part yet.
Pack up. Get relocated, he tells us. Where to? Flatlands. Says the government's building houses down there for us. You don't choose to move.
Of course, Martha Corrine don't choose to move. She's planted on that land just like a tree.
I don't see what's so wrong about the flatlands. Like about living
Not her
stuff like
land.
that.
Well, they're mountain people too, and I think they were born in the mountains, grew up in the mountains, lived in the mountains. They want to die in the mountains. Like it's all about the geography. I think for them, a big part of it too, right? They're connected to the mountains in kind of more than a physical way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's kind of a spiritual thing, even though they might not verbalize it that way.
Yeah. Oh, it does show you that you're a red shot on StreamYard now too. Cool.
Others can if they won't. Not us.
I come home from the Navy, and home is where I plan on staying.
Mom and me and Wade and his Vera, we decided on staying.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. They're planting their feet. They're gonna try to move them up. They're all mad that they're gonna be shaping the mountain. They asked John Boy and John to come help about. So then we get some more. We get this
Stock
stock
footage.
footage. And you can see that they are just destroying that mountain.
Yeah. And they're
Oh, wait,
building that dam too, right? So they're going to flood the river where they fish.
Yeah. Even though they got the best trout fishing on this side of rockfish, apparently.
Yeah, that's what happens when they do this stuff, though. I've seen them do it here in my part of the world as well.
Well, sometimes you got to. So they're all heading up the mountain there. And here they show up. And this is Martha Corrine there.
She was good in this episode. Like, I don't know what other stuff she's done, but she was very good performance, I thought, as playing her character in this one.
Well, it's easy enough there to figure out what she's been in.
Oh yeah, I didn't bother looking it up yet, but I'm sure she was probably in tons of stuff over the years.
Yeah. All right, so this part.
I don't see even one rifle amongst you. Did y'all come up here to stick by us or to wish us well?
See, that's part of the problem too. This is the problem we have amongst a lot in the world. The first instinct is to grab a gun. Now, to solve your issues,
Well, they told them no, yet they still keep intruding on their land.
Yeah. And the problem with these projects like that, did they even have any input to go into it, and they just didn't go to the meeting, or what?
They are not considered whatsoever. The closest decision-making process was made to them was in the state capitol.
Well, they did have the senator, that was trying to fight for them, right? Because I mean, obviously he was a decent guy, and he believed that they should have some rights before the law, so that's why he argued in the Senate, to give them, a fair shake. But of course, we all know what happens later in the episode, that it doesn't work out the way the senator wished it had.
Yeah, see when you have these stuff like this, that's here. They're going to we have 4 courses or 4 boxes. What's his old saying? There's 4 boxes for discourse. There's the soap box, then there's the ballot box. I cannot remember what the third one is, and then there's the cartridge box.
Yeah, I don't know what the third one would be.
The third one is the cartridge box. The fourth one is a pine box.
Oh, the fourth one's the pine box. Okay.
That seems like you're past negotiation when you're in the pine box, but oh well.
Well, if you lose your soap box and you lose your ballot box, there's only the cartridge box and the pine box left.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. Like, they're up against the government, right? And they could take up arms. Of course, that's their right if they want to bear arms under the Constitution. But probably little chance they're going to win against the whole squad full of U.S. Marshals in the long term. So
yeah,
it's kind of a futile defense, right?
Yeah. And Seth says, "Welcome, Seth." He says, "First instinct is to grab a weapon." Oh, how American! Just remember, Seth Dad. Just remember, Seth Dad. The only reason we have the First Amendment is because of the Second Amendment. The only reason you have any rights is because of the Second Amendment. The only reason it's called the Second Amendment, not the First Amendment, is because our forefathers felt that our freedom to speak, our freedom of religion, the freedom of the press was paramount to all. But the only one that's protecting all of our rights is the second.
The thing is, though, I always think about when that was written, and that was like way, way many centuries ago. So, how practical it is nowadays could be debatable.
100% practical.
Could be very
100%
debatable.
practical.
Personally, I think if you go up
Doesn't
against the
matter if
government,
you go up against hordes and hordes and hordes. If you still have the ability to defend yourself and your neighbors have the ability to defend themselves, you
yeah.
still have a fighting chance.
Well, no, I think if the government wants to get you, they're going to get you.
Well, PvP, there's a reason we were never invaded in World War II, and that's because of the General Yamamoto that said it's impossible to invade America because there's a gun behind every blade of grass.
Yeah. Well,
He
how come
was
he attacked Pearl Harbor then?
that was to take out our fleet. That was to take out our. Well, that was the that's.
It
Well,
seems
here's
he
the,
kind
That
of had
was it.
something against America.
That was a territory at the time. They
Uh,
didn't come near the mainland because even back then, more guns than people.
yeah, and the problem is Yamamoto told him not to do it because all you're going to do is awake a sleeping giant
Oh,
there.
I've heard of that. Yeah, that was a big
Yeah,
error
he-
on
that-
Japan's part. Of
That
course. Yeah.
that was your bureaucracy. They thought they could keep America out of the war by taking out our Pacific Fleet. They take our Pacific Fleet, we'd roll over and play dead. No, that just pissed us off.
Yeah, they miscalculated big time. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
that was a
everybody
big-
familiar with the history knows that. I
Yeah.
actually visited Pearl Harbor, so I actually saw the Arizona and all that stuff. And
Yeah,
yeah, it's pretty moving when you actually go see
yeah,
the damage done there for sure.
yeah.
Um,
And it is recorded that when Yamamoto got his orders to attack Pearl Harbor, he said, "Oh fuck."
He's probably like, well, I might as well resign.
Yeah. And Cynthia says guerrillas wasn't mean the right to have to bear arms or the right to have a weapon and defense ourselves. Both. We have the right to bear arms and to defend ourselves. There, it was not written for hunting, like a lot of people think it was.
So it wasn't about the right for arms, bears to be armed.
No.
If
Oh.
that bear is American, he has the right to have any gun he damn well pleases.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're getting to crazy land, but oh well.
God, who was it that was? The Family Guy had the best joke there. He goes, "Do you think people will understand this language? Yeah, people will have the right to hang bear arms on their wall."
I'm just picturing Yogi Bear, handling like a machine gun at the moment, but oh well. Anyway, back at the Waltons.
So I need to play this here.
Damn it, Gorilla, get back on track. I got shit to do today.
I agree with that. I agree with that statement.
All right. So, and he's asking Jawboy where does he stand, and Jawboy rather not get to fight. He wants to talk and talk and talk and talk.
But he goes, "I'm with my daddy" or whatever, like a good diplomatic answer.
I stand by my daddy here. So we got this pregnant gal here.
Hey, can you take the chat thing off the screen? It's a little kind of masking. Thank you. That's better. Masking the subtitles a bit.
Yeah. Okay. So Cynthia's on our side with this. All right. So that's my point. All right. So apparently there's 4 generations of Waltons there. And so the last time they were up there, Martha Corrine had to deal with them. They can pick as many berries as they want, and they can even take the leftovers home. They just have to have enough for them to do with what they can for supper. And
I think Elizabeth here is thinking, boy, I'm going to pig out on berries tonight.
Yeah. And the boys want to go arrowhead hunting, but the rule is they can only take one a piece.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yep. They're probably lucky if they find one. Actually, they're probably pretty rare to find. I would guess.
We find them all over the place around here.
Really? Are they worth anything?
Yeah.
Not really.
About 5 cents.
Okay.
You
I'm
might
just
be able to
wondering.
get.
I'm wondering what they might be worth on eBay, because sometimes eBay can have crazy prices on the most common objects. You never know.
Yeah, arrowheads. They're a dime a dozen because they're used to for hunting, for warfare, for everything. They're scattered all over the place here.
Gosh, but that's like hundreds of years ago, isn't it? Since they had arrowheads, shooting off everywhere.
Yeah, about 1870s
So
to
yeah, that's like
1880s.
150 years or something. Like that's a while
Yeah.
ago.
So they're gonna go someplace where they're going off, and John Boy's gonna stay here. Yeah, and Deb's ready to go to war. He says they're ready for war. And here they're passing around the moonshine.
There we go.
Go.
I love the look on Libby's face in this scene.
Yeah,
It's perfect. It's great.
yeah. Did you catch
She's
that?
she's like, "Are you kidding me? You guys." She's so
Right
disgusted.
in front of me. Right in front of me. You couldn't even have the decency to go up. Oh, just
I know.
wait.
I know.
It gets better.
John's
Just
sleeping
that's
on
half
the
the
couch.
point.
John's sleeping on the couch tonight.
Yeah. Oh, it gets better.
Oh yeah, this is good. We got the John boy, do we?
Prime stuff, Boone.
Oh,
You had
God.
to have it before. So that case got get hit out on in the woods.
So now we got Grandpa. He's gonna go take a big swig. Oh, come on, Boone. Let's move, Boone. And just Grandma in the background. Grandma in the background.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Evil eye. And then Grandpa thinks of going for a second swig here, doesn't he? And he's like, he looks over at the old lady and he's like, "Oh shit, I better not."
Well, the best thing is, everybody knows the look. Both John and Zeb have gotten the look.
Oh yeah.
Well, Zeb gets only the look. Dawn to dusk.
Yeah, well, he's not getting any tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah,
It's
Zeb's
quite
probably
like
got
me.
nothing but memories at this point.
Yeah.
Better than Judge Walton's recipe.
Yeah, right.
That was a great scene.
This episode should get an A just for that.
That gave it a boost in the ratings for sure.
Yeah. Well, the best part's even coming up.
Boone
Yeah,
tells
yeah,
me this
Definitely.
a man Blake is contracted to clear the area.
Yeah, so Blake's the one that's the contractor and all that stuff. And now watch this next part. This is the best part right here.
Not moving is holding him up. Every day means lost money to him, I expect.
We mean more to ourselves than the numbers on his dollar bills.
Boone thinks it's going to come down to a shooting fight. I think that's wrong. You can't win that kind of a fight. Blake is here last night when we come back from your place.
Well, he's been trying for 2 months.
Oh shit! I thought it was sooner than this.
Yeah, I think there's a little more talking first about Blake with tomatoes or something and all that stuff.
Yeah. So they're
it's in
talking
the
about the
middle of it.
tomatoes and all that. Okay, here's the best part.
There you go. You had it perfect.
And he says,
There we go.
Walton,
Look! Oh, did you catch that? Did you catch that? Look, watch
yeah.
Olivia's face. I'm gonna try to pause it here.
salt, but I'd certainly enjoy a tomato off the vine.
Right there, she's like, I can't believe my own son is drinking the devil's mouthwash.
Yeah, Olivia's thinking, I haven't had that switch out on John Boy's backside for many years, but I might have to reinstate the punishment.
I know John knows what's going on.
It's
Yeah.
You
good.
can't
That is
refuse in
good.
that situation.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was
you
more
gotta-
of a test
Got
than
to be
anything.
diplomatic. Got to be diplomatic with the kin. Yeah.
Yeah. And hey there, Pop. How's it going?
Hey,
I hope
Pop.
you're feeling better. I seen you were on Jill's stream earlier today.
Yeah. Hi, Pop.
How you doing, Pop?
Yeah. So So John Boy takes a swig.
I told him to help himself. So he
Yeah, he's like he almost looks like I would be on Dewars.
Now, John Boy's looking like, hey, this shit ain't half bad. I might get used to drinking this stuff.
Now, how long did old Boone let that stuff sit?
No, I imagine he's aged it well.
Yeah. 2,
Uh,
3 days at least.
There you go.
Yeah,
Well aged moonshine.
yeah, yeah. Boone there. I don't expect anything to last a week with him. Right.
States and how he does believe.
Oh yeah, he's had tomatoes for 16 days. Blah blah blah. Trying
Yeah,
to
he's
sweet talk the old lady.
trying to sweet talk the old lady. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah, and so basically he's gonna say they're gonna cut down the trees and they're about bulldoze right through their house. There, I was like, could they like go around the house and let them keep the house?
Well, that's what
I'm
I
pretty
thought. Like they couldn't go like 30 yards over the back there behind in those trees way back in the background. Like, would it have really made that much of a difference to the road?
On a mountain, yes. Topography is very, very important when it comes to roads like that, and mountains are a real bitch to build through.
Oh, tell me about it. I live in the most mountainous province in my country, so yeah, I'm pretty familiar with mountains, Germ.
yeah.
And
Well,
also, we had to have the dramatic element to drive the episode forward, did we not?
yeah. Well, part of the problem too with that is we actually have a farm over in eastern Minnesota. There, they
Mm-hmm.
said that the people refuse to leave there when they're making the interstate and that.
Oh yeah.
So they actually cut part of their barn off and put it in inner angle on it so they can put the interstate through to keep it straight. So part of the barn is actually got cut off and reshaped.
Oh God, somebody had a sense of humor, eh? Jeez, that's a
Well,
good one.
well,
Well,
It
that's
sounds
creativity.
funny, but it is millions and millions of dollars serious.
I don't know. This was back in the 50s, so
Okay, thousands and thousands of dollars at that point.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
is literally cheaper to kill people and bury them under the road in full view of reporters and cameras than it is to change the direction of a road.
Well, nowadays, depending on your skin color, whether or not they give a shit. Sit there saying hello to Pop, and Pop say hello to Sit Dan. So
hello.
yeah. So basically, she's saying they're not gonna fucking leave. They're going, and they're going through there. And they're wondering what kind of Indians were around there. I'm not sure which ones were in the Blue Ridge Mountains.
They did mention them though. I think the Walton boys were talking about the different
No,
tribes here when they're looking for the arrowheads.
no, they mentioned ones that were like down further south.
I thought they were mentioning ones that had the arrowheads they were looking after though. Looking at for.
Oh, we could play a scene here. Real
I know they
quick.
mentioned like I think 2 or 3 different tribes in the scene.
Yeah.
I believe they're just throwing out names of tribes because they didn't really know and they
What
didn't
tribes were
want to
there
bother
here?
looking it up.
Yeah.
Oh, Miss Hunter said the Shawnees, the Delawares, and the Catawbas. They all live around here?
No, they just passed through.
The Blue Ridge Mountains and the Shenandoah Valley were their hunting grounds. Where do they live now?
Now, him finding an arrowhead like that, they're buried underneath the dirt. Dirt, there's a 1 in a million find. So there wasn't there. That was just sitting underneath the dirt.
So you'd have to usually dig deeper then, I'm guessing, Gorilla? Is what you're saying?
Well, no, they float up and a lot of them surround the shorelines and stuff.
Oh, by water.
And then not only, but also just having them sitting on top of the ground is how you find. Because just walking along and maybe unless you're kicking your feet, you may get lucky and find one just kicking your feet. But finding one like that you can tell that one was specifically planted there.
Well, just TV.
Yeah, yeah. They said they're all. Well, apparently, yeah, we relocated them to Oklahoma. They're all living on reservations. Blah blah blah. Then here, the stores out there. These two people here are kin also to old Martha Corrine in there. They're all kin, and apparently they got a possum in the sack, which is very poor eating. You do
They're
not
not
want to eat possums.
they're not too friendly as kin though. They kind of like bugger off quite quickly.
Well, would you be friendly?
Well, I don't know. You think you might chat for a minute with your kin, but they didn't seem to care.
Yeah. They're getting kicked out, but no, the possum there. You do not want to eat that. That's very poor eating. That's along with
Yeah.
you don't want to eat raccoons, and squirrels are all right for eating there, but you don't want to eat moles. They're all full of diseases.
Yikes. Well,
Uh,
coons can have rabies, right? So
yeah, they all can.
yeah, not on my menu list. That's for sure. I've heard squirrels are could be tasty, but they're kind of fatty, aren't they? The little buggers.
I don't know.
Gamey.
I haven't had squirrel yet. Or
Okay.
if I did, it was a long time ago.
I just read somewhere that they were kind of maybe high in fat content, but it's not like I'm going to get. Actually, we have squirrels right across the street in the park. I see them running around quite often, but it's not like I'm going to go out and kill one of them and
Yeah.
try to dismember it and cook it. Like no, I'll just go to the supermarket and get regular meat.
Now, what if the supermarket runs dry?
Oh, it ain't going to run dry. They're making too much. They're making too much money screwing us with the inflated prices of everything to ever run dry.
No,
At this point.
no.
Yeah.
They're trying.
And hello, Suzanne. Welcome back.
Hey, Suzanne, it's been a minute since I've seen you. Welcome, welcome. She says hello to. Oh wait, where are we at here? So, right. It's okay. So you said hello, guys, and Suzanne says, "Pop, you think it'll be enough to do a live stream tomorrow at usual time slot?" And Pop says, "Well, as a kid in Cali, we used to hunt for arrowheads. I had buckets. Oh yeah, I bet you did there. Yeah, welcome, Suzanne. Welcome, welcome." She says hello to Pop. And you get a PvP hello, dear. It says hello, Suzanne, and goes, and Pop's hoping to. Okay, good. And Gorilla Haya, and she's saying hi to Sit Dan. All right, so yeah, we're continuing on. And they found something yesterday, blah blah blah. Yeah, and so now they're hoping that doesn't come down to shooting and all that. Now, this is the scene that Judy Norton had a huge problem with. The director was like, "Oh fuck," because she did think that that her character there, Marielle, would be scared of a pig and all that. She had a big issue with that scene, and the director wasn't gonna have the whole script rewritten because of pouty actress. What she call it, a pouty child or something. So he made a emergency phone call up to the producers, and one of the producers came down and had a long talk with Mary Ellen, and that's where I think they compromised a little bit on the scene. But I didn't know if those pigs were wild at first or not, because
they're supposed to be.
Yeah, wild pigs are no joke. They can destroy a lot of property in a short amount of time. But usually they run in packs of 50.
Yeah. These, I think they just broke out maybe a generation or two ago and just forage around the mountain.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how fast pigs breed, but I know rabbits breed pretty fast because
not quite as fast as rabbits, but they're damn plentiful.
Yeah, because the one guy he brought 24 rabbits to Australia for some trophy hunt or sport hunting there, and they let him loose. And it started out as 24, then 70 years later, there's 50 million, 20 million rabbits in Australia now overrunning the place.
Yeah, you'd think their numbers would not grow so much considering all the strange and, quite frankly, horrific wildlife there is in that place.
Well, they have no natural predators anymore.
I guess all the reptiles just look at him and say, "What the hell is that fluff ball?"
Yeah. So yeah, so then the pigs come, they run screaming, they get treed, and they're screaming for help. And the pigs are just sitting there scrubbing around the floor. And the boys hear, they're talking. Yeah, they're trying to talk.
I think the pigs in the scene look pretty domesticated. They didn't look particularly wild. I don't know.
Oh, you're not going to use wild pigs in a shoot like that.
Yeah,
you're going to go down to the nice little farmer down the road and say, "Hey, can we borrow a few of your pigs?"
No, I just thought it kind of brought the scene down because it wasn't believable. Like, I didn't think it was believable.
Well, what could be believable is that they just got out of Martha's pen.
I still didn't think it was too believable. I mean, I don't know.
I thought it was because at first you think they might be wild ones, but then you think they probably just got out of Martha's pen there. They're domesticated.
That's what I figured, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as domesticated as they're being raised by mountain folk, who themselves are about as domesticated as your average wild boar.
Yeah. And for some reason, Cynthia says, PvP, just don't lose your nuts, okay? I have no idea why he's putting that in there.
I think I mentioned squirrels, yeah.
Oh, you mentioned squirrels. Gotcha.
I did respond, though.
No worries, they are firmly attached. Actually, I should probably had you read that.
I couldn't resist that comment. They ain't going anywhere without my permission, that's for sure.
Well, who says they need permission?
Well, they ain't getting it even if they ask me, which they probably won't.
So, yeah, they're trying to talk her out of this, and they're trying to talk her to go look at it. They're talking about indoor water, electricity, blah, blah, blah. They're trying to say they like it.
Yeah, they're trying to say, hey, just think in the middle of winter when it's -40, you won't have to go out to the outhouse anymore and freeze your hiney off. You could have a nice toilet. You can flush your problems away. It's like, she's like, progress. That sucks. Screw progress.
Does it get that cold in Virginia?
I don't have no
Not
idea.
Really. It's rather mild.
I was just being, making an abstract, number.
Yeah.
Mountains do get colder, though, do they not up higher? Because that's where we get our snow, is up in the mountains usually.
Yeah.
It's a little bit colder, but not horribly more.
Okay.
Virginia's
I exaggerated.
Pretty tame.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it's right on the coast, too, so.
Yeah, coastal areas are less, have less inclement weather, that's true. Because I remember living in Vancouver, and yeah, it's pretty mellow in the winter there, actually.
Well, hell, even the Great Lakes don't even freeze over in the winter. There's only been one time that Lake Superior was actually frozen over, and it got down to they had to get down to -70 for a couple days for it to freeze over completely.
Great Lakes, yeah. Well, the Great Lakes are the Great Lakes in name because they are the Great Lakes. They're enormous, so they're almost like oceans, little tiny oceans. They're so big, yeah.
Lake
so they're not going to freeze.
Lake Superior is considered an inland sea.
Yeah, they basically kind of are. Well, they're sea-like. Let's put it that way, because they are enormous.
Yeah, no, it is considered an inland sea. But was it Boone this year that's saying this?
Yeah, to give out with moving day advice.
Oh yeah, they're trying to talk her out to it. Job Boy pipes in, and then Boone talks him down. Talks down to him.
He's really mouthy for a moonshiner.
Yeah. They're talking about that's your land. And Barry Ellen wants to jump down, but
meanwhile, up in the tree.
Yeah. So yeah, the boys here.
Oh no!
Yeah, they're just laughing. They heard about cheering a bear, but not cheering it by pigs. They
Yeah.
they just shoot 'em off with a stick.
Yeah, they have a good old time making fun of the girls for being sissies.
Yeah, that had to be in there. Then this jackass shows up.
And
That's a nice car.
Hatch from Battlestar Galactica.
I don't
I'm
remember
assuming
mentioning that.
I'm assuming that's the actor playing the cousin.
Oh, playing the grandson or whatever. Yeah.
No, no, are you talking about cousin Boone or Wade?
I think it's
Wade.
the young guy.
The young
Yeah.
one.
The wood carving guy that we find out about a little later.
Okay, that would be Richard.
Even
Yeah, that's Richard Hatch.
Yeah, that was Richard Hatch. Jeez, I knew I recognized him, but I didn't look it up last night when I watched this. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Richard Hatch. All right, so Pop said they could have added some fake horns to make them look scarier. Yeah, I agree with you on that with Pop there. And Sit Dad says just had to. It was way too easy. So yeah, all right. So we got this jackass that calls himself a senator shows up in this fancy old car. He's trying to make one more try. He asked him for some time. There gonna be no more. See, he gave him a couple. Okay, this scene is essential because Blake promised him a couple more days to try to move him out.
Yeah.
So there'd be no more blasting or tree clearing. They're gonna try to work it out. But
That's a risky move on his part, screwing around against the senator.
Yeah. So I'm gonna play this scene here.
Sure. No more blasting or building near your property.
In trade for what?
That you go and look at the house the government is offering you for moving out of here.
Senator, suppose Martha Corrine don't like what they show her down below the land or the little cracker boxes on it. Mind you, I'm not saying she's going to go, but if she does, suppose she doesn't like what she sees.
Yeah, that's a fair question, and I like how he worded it too.
Grandpa is a very rational man overall, and he's quite elegant in his speech because, hey, he's been around. He knows how to speak.
Yeah.
Well, why not give yourselves a chance? At least go look at the houses. You're the only family who won't even do that.
We were agreed on staying here.
Lucas, is this your way of telling us that you've given up and gone over to the other side?
What do you expect? He's a fucking politician. You really expect them to keep their fucking word?
No,
And he's an old man. He doesn't have the stroke he did decades ago.
Hey, ageism. Okay, whatever. He's a senator, though, and he has to abide by the wishes. I mean, if he gets outvoted, he gets outvoted, right? That's the process, and he's done his best. He's trying to help them. He's still there in this scene, trying to offer at least a partial solution. Like, go and take a look. Like, maybe you'll think it's a good house. Like, give it a chance. Like, work through the process. I'm trying to help you folks, and I think at this point he's frustrated and he's pissed off too, as much as they are, because obviously he wishes he could do more to help them, but basically, his hands are tied, right, politically. So he's done everything he can.
Just doesn't have the power he used to.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
exactly.
He's just a backbencher now.
Well,
exactly.
the way I took it is he made a promise and he's falling back on it. He made a promise he couldn't keep.
I think maybe
he
made a
promised
promise
to fight for him, not that they were going to keep their home.
Yeah, and I think he was just, trying to look at the positive side maybe early on because he thought maybe he might have a better chance, but it didn't work out for him.
Yeah,
I think the senator's an honorable man. Actually, I think he's good. He's got his heart in the right place. He just doesn't have the power to really do much.
Martha Corrine, I fought my fight for you.
It wasn't too many years back that you got whatever you asked for down at the legislature.
Yes, indeed. And with plenty of votes to spare, I dare say. But times change, and I must now go along with the majority. And with the law, so must we all, like it or not. Now, the men in Richmond and Washington who create these projects, such as the parks and the highways, are looking to help this country's future by building it out of a depression.
You know, that might sound good on paper, but you could get a lot of useless stuff out of that too.
And they did.
Yeah.
Thousands and thousands of acres of worthless stuff.
Yeah.
Most of which they paved over already.
Oh yeah, they actually just destroyed our one of our buildings here in the county that was actually built by the CCC. Well,
as the senator said, times do change. So maybe a building that was built almost, like 80 years ago, maybe it outlived its useful purpose. That's possible.
They just wanted to put up a nicer, fancier building and raise the property tax.
Well, crap. I mean, tell me about it. Here in Boomtown City, I see old places I knew. Like, I've been here like almost 10 years now, and I see so many landmarks that I've known just get demolished. Like, before I even know it, there's buildings that are just leveled to the ground. And before I know it, like a month later, there's some bloody high rise going up in its place. Like, I know exactly the feeling of that kind of thing, actually, Gorilla.
Yeah.
Believe what they're doing will better the majority of people's lives.
It won't better ours.
Yeah, basically it's much more this back and forth, blah, blah, blah. Oh, this scene here I want to play.
Better idea to build schools instead of highways and clear the land for farming instead of for parks?
That is not the issue right now, young man.
We'd be happy to take John down and show you the house being offered.
Yeah, so John pretty much offers to take him down. And this Mr. Blake gave them a word that they won't start demolishing, blah, blah, blah. And basically, Grandpa's going to stay up here, watch over the house, make sure they don't do anything and all that. So is John Boy. He's going to stay up there.
Well, John Boy's there to make sure Grandpa doesn't get shot, if I remember what the scene says coming up.
Well, no, John Boy's going to stay there to look after Grandpa to make sure Grandpa doesn't do anything irrational.
I think isn't the sentence something about him not letting Grandpa get shot? I don't know. I could be misremembering, but
don't let Grandpa get a gun in his hands.
Something like that. Yeah. Basically, keep Grandpa safe was the sentiment, I believe.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is a good scene. I like this scene because Olivia's trying to get the wife's to start thinking about more possibilities than what she's known.
Yeah, this.
Hey, Lemon.
Busy can be comfortable, can it?
Hey, Lemon.
Hey, Scurvy, how's it going? He says, "Hey, fellers, plus lady." Suzanne says, "Hey, but Hatch was the original Apollo." Oh, cool. I did not know that.
Yeah, in the original Battlestar Galactica from the 70s. Yeah, that was a good show. I like that show.
Nice. Yeah, Pop, thanks for that. That was not aware of that. I was Hatch. So Suzanne. Yeah, Suzanne says, "Gorilla, although those Waltons look like some of my neighbors, LOL." Yeah.
What, your neighbors are like inbred?
Which one? Which one? Are you talking Boone, Martha, Zev? Or are you talking Wade?
Well, I'm just talking, none of our regular Waltons. I'm talking like this family that we never met before. Like some of them, I think especially the wife here. The wife does look a little bit inbred, does she not? Like, she's not the most attractive girl I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah. And,
I was kind of making a bad joke though too, so don't take me too
Pop,
seriously.
we're gonna be having that come up here shortly. I'll pause it when I see it here.
Always makes me feel safe. My life is going to keep on going, same as always.
Or is this the part you want me to stop on? Papa. So yeah, they're just sitting there talking, and that actress, I think they could have put a little bit of makeup on her there because she looks a lot like a guy in this episode. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
they uglied her up quite a bit.
She's not the prettiest woman in the episode for sure. Though I mean, when she smiles a few times in some scenes, she's not half bad, but she's pretty plain Jane through most of it.
Yeah, it's just like this still right here makes her look kind of like a guy there.
Yeah, well, she kind of did have masculine-like features. I thought too. Yeah.
Yeah. And Cynthia says, hi there, the scurvy. Is that germ on the pail? Yep, it's German PvP. And hi, Cynthia. Hello, Susan. And Scurvy says, hey, Pop, hope you're feeling all right. All right. No, Link. Here, Pop, I'll send you one here. Here.
Yeah, I got a really cool video on YouTube that I think might have been Richard Hatch's last ever performance in anything before he passed away. I'm going to post it in the public chat here if that's okay with
Oh,
you,
then he
Gorilla.
might. Then he. Oh wait, he might. Oh, if he's still there, then he'd be 70-something years old. But
Yeah,
he must
this
have died
video.
young.
Well, this video was posted like 9 years ago, and I think Richard Hatch passed away around that time.
Oh, so he died kind of young.
Yeah, I'm just going to take a quick look and look up his bio here. He was only 71. Yeah, he died quite young in February of 2017. So that's like what, 7 years ago. And this, yeah, he probably did this. He played a Klingon in this about 3 years, probably before he passed on, and he was excellent. And you guys have probably heard of the Axanar thing, right?
Yeah.
If you've never seen the prelude to Axanar, which is the only completed footage they ever got made, it's just around 21 minutes long. But it takes the original, sort of the original Trek, and puts it into a really great little video. They wanted to make a movie,
Yeah.
but of course
It's a document.
CBS, yeah,
It's a
CBS killed.
mockumentary for the Romulan Klingon
Yeah,
or Klingon Federation
CBS
War.
CBS killed it, of course, but
Yeah.
it's actually amazing because the special effects and the acting are top notch in it. So I highly recommend you guys taking a look at that. And
Yeah.
Richard Hatch plays a Klingon leader, and he's really good in
Okay.
that. So
And welcome
think-
to the panel, Pop.
one of the
Hey,
last
Pop.
things, I think it's one of the last things Richard Hatch ever did, which makes it even more special. So yeah.
Okay.
Hello there, everyone.
Hey,
Yeah.
Pop. Hello.
PvP, I'm sorry, I mean Gorilla. What I was talking about, do you have any shots or slides of the front of that the front of that cabin, kind of like standing back a little bit where you can see the whole cabin?
Yes, they're gonna be coming up here soon.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. So basically they're talking about to protect each other, and she's scared Jabbo's running off and that there. Yeah. So basically they're having a big old heart-to-heart talk. Nothing special. Then they're taking some blueberries home to make some blueberry ice cream. Okay. So and they're taking Martha down, and Martha wants to sit in the back of the truck, which was kind of surprising because we never see any of the older women sitting in the back of the truck. It's Grandma and Olivia always get the cab seat along with John, and John always does the driving. Heck, I don't even know if Olivia knows how to drive.
Yeah, I'm not sure actually.
We know Grandpa knows.
so.
I know Grandpa knows how to drive, but I don't think Grandma knows either.
It wasn't a common thing for women to learn back then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
actually,
yeah.
my mom never learned how to drive, and she only passed away like 9 years ago. So it's not an uncommon thing for ladies not to drive.
Yeah. Oh, here it is.
Right? Why don't you stay here and keep an eye on Grandpa?
Me?
Yeah, try to keep him from getting the gun in his hand.
Oh, that's the line.
You really think maybe it's going to come down to guns?
His temper's up. Try to keep him from doing anything foolish, all right?
Okay.
So yeah. So basically, don't let him make an ass out of himself here.
Yeah,
So yeah, they
it's just
start down there.
he wants John Boy to keep him out of harm's way, basically. I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
Then-
let Grandpa
Me, if some of
go snake crazy.
Yeah.
the men folk in this family are going to become.
Oh yeah. So basically, they're all going to get to know each other a whole lot more. Oh wait. Oh no, they didn't show the full thing there. I'm trying to get a better shot for you. Then we got these two jackasses.
I'd have charged you time and a half. Bring me up here after sundown. You scared of them Waltons? Yeah, every one of them just soon shoot at you, just look at you. Martha Corrine included. I've been shot at before. Now, don't get spooked.
Okay, when did overtime start? Did that start in the 30s there?
I don't remember offhand.
Are you talking about these two guys working?
Yeah, well, he says I ought to charge you time and a half for coming up there after dark.
I don't think
That
this
might
is,
have
I
been
don't
a
think
great
this is illegal.
society.
I don't think this is a legal business.
No.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
doubt if they even follow any labor laws. I mean, I haven't been watching the whole episode like you guys have, but I'm guessing they're to no good, right?
Well,
Yeah, he's about to break into a state center.
Yeah, then they're not following. It's not like they clock in and clock out.
yeah. Well, they get this guy here gave us word that he was not going to start blasting or chopping trees for a couple days, but now they're bringing the explosives up there right now in order to get them ready here.
Oh, Walton's cabin's clear the other side of the mountain. They can't see us over here.
You know, I heard something about you promised Lucas Avery you was going to wait.
Word sure gets around up here.
Well, look, we have here the
Find that
deputy from
Everybody's cousin,
Sheriff
everybody else.
Lobo.
Okay.
Sorry, it was a short-lived
Yeah.
series with Claude Akins where he played sheriff. It was a comedy, and the guy with the other guy, the younger one, was his deputy. Kind of the brunt of all the jokes.
Yeah. Okay, and Suzanne says PvP. Oh yeah. And Scurvy says Gorilla Germ PvD. It's and Poppy said thanks to feel better. And that's the link that you were talking about, the Axinar thing. And Cynthia says, Pop, just don't let germ to catch you and give you.
I should be okay. It's not necessary to insult other people that are on the stream.
I think he was trying to make a joke because Resolute there is called Germ. He's trying to say don't get you sick. I think it's a joke.
Okay.
He says, nice to see you, Pops and Suzanne.
Cheers, Suzanne.
And she says, yes, she does. I've seen her drive before. Okay, so Olivia does know how to drive. Okay.
But I want to mention that the other guy, there's two of them, and the younger one, the one who's off camera, also started, I don't know if you guys remember, but he was in Up in Smoke.
Okay, I've heard of it, never seen it.
Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, he was a bumbling detective who couldn't do anything right, and he kept getting chastised by Sergeant Stadenko.
Oh, okay. I got you. Cool. It's been a long time since I seen Up in Smoke, so I'd have to rewatch that again. Ooh.
Oh, it never gets old. It's still funny even now.
Yeah.
What's up here? Well, just who are you cousin to? Lucas Avery or Boone Walton?
I'm cousin to whoever's paying me.
Yeah, see,
Take me up here tomorrow to work no plunger.
yeah. So yeah, he'll plant the explosive, but he won't work the plunger. Now this is funny. Each side has different views. The other one thinks that whoever pays more is that one they'll be loyal to, but they don't think that family matters to anything. That they don't think the kid will protect their own property or protect each other. And that's a big mistake a lot of these people make is they don't think kid means nothing.
Well, it doesn't mean anything to them, but well, Grandpa has some buckshot with their name on it to prove them otherwise.
Yeah. So here they're making the ice cream in there. And I've made some homemade ice cream. It's a lot better than their store bought stuff.
If you do it right, yeah.
Yeah. And there's smashing ice and all that stuff. And they got the old hand crank. I'm glad we got electric. They're fighting over who gets the first lick. I've never had blackberry ice cream. We've always just made vanilla. So yeah, and John gets a look. Oh, that's a good picture right there. We got grandma flicking off the camera pretty much here, licking her finger, and we got John here looking like he's all like crazy eyed.
Yeah, it looks like John had more of that moonshine of that still.
Yeah. So they ask John Boy if he's ever been married. He's only 18. The other guy's 19. Blah blah blah.
No, John Boy's an old man compared to when they got married.
No, I gotta say this guy is a really good sculptor.
Yeah, it's good work. I'd say that's very solidly good quality wood carving for sure, especially back in that day and age. I'm sure you could have probably sold it, and I guess he does go on to sell it eventually, from what the episode tells us later on.
Oh yeah,
those are nice carvings. So they're kind of primitive. They're kind of like oh God, what's the word?
Rustic.
Rustic, yeah, that's one word. When I went to art school, there's another word for that kind of art, but
amateur.
No, amateur. No, not derogatory. It was actually, something that praised the quality of the work. It's good, solid work. But the term is escaping me. But anyway, we can continue. It's no big deal.
Oh, I didn't think amateur was derogatory.
Well, it can be derogatory though.
Yeah. So yeah. So they're bringing wood.
Help.
Oh yeah, John Boy offers to help with anything. And here, I'm not gonna play Martha, but Martha tells stories that they probably all heard 100 times.
Right.
I always remember sitting around Grandma listening to stories and all that. I'm not sure about you guys.
I was never that lucky, really. My grandparents, I would visit them, but they generally wouldn't talk about the past too much.
My only grandparent that lived to my time was my grandfather, and he was a crotchety, racist old crone.
Okay. So yeah, then they want to learn more about the spinning wheel where they spun wool and stuff. And this is where we find out that her husband went and fought under Stonewall Jackson at there, and after Jackson did die during the Civil War, didn't he? He must have been president before Lincoln.
No, wasn't he a general for the Confederacy?
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah, he was a general for the Confederacy, but he was also the president of the United States, and he was the one responsible for the Trail of Tears.
Was he actually a president for the U.S. after being a rebel?
I thought
not after Jackson. I think you're thinking of a different. It wasn't Stonewall Jackson. It was
Ulysses S. Grant became Jackson. Became president.
Grant became president. There was.
Oh yeah.
Was it Johnson you're thinking of?
You're talking Ulysses S. Grant, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grant was.
Well, Grant was a Union general, was he not? In the war.
Okay, he was the 7th president, 1829 to 1837.
Yeah, I think he was fairly popular, wasn't he, Grant? It seemed like, he was 8 years, so he must have done something right.
Yeah, well, a lot of them got elected for 2 terms and all that, but no, he's the one responsible for the Trail of Tears and stuff.
Well, wasn't
They,
Grant was pretty brutal during the war, was he not? Like he just marched in and he would just burn cities to the ground.
oh
Like,
no, that was Sherman on his March to the Sea from Atlanta to the sea. There,
okay, I'm getting my
they
Yeah.
generals mixed up. Okay.
yeah. Sherman was the one that said we're not taking anything with us, and they went, burnt, pillaged, and shot anybody that was in their way. They lived off the land and they stole all the southern crops and burned everything they couldn't use.
Yeah, he was like one of those guys that believed in attrition. Just take him out and take everything out. Yeah.
Hey, sometimes the war of attrition's the way to go,
Hey,
but
I don't argue with his method. Like it worked, right? So yeah.
yeah, well, once once the North got their shit together, they said the only way to beat the South was to split it. So they cut Texas and Louisiana off at the Mississippi. Then they cut they cut them in half again with the March to the Sea and stuff. They're splitting up the armies and stuff.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
Yeah, but anyhow, that's not for today's episode.
Yeah, it's a long way from the 1930s, I guess.
Yeah. And sit there and says, no, that is Andrew Jackson. Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
we're saying.
Andrew Jackson, not
Andrew
Stonewall
Jackson. Yeah, different Jackson.
Oh, were they two different?
Yeah.
Even I know that.
I thought Andrew Jackson and Stonewall Jackson.
No, I think they are different people, Gorilla.
Yeah, Andrew Jackson didn't survive till the Civil War.
I love this comment by Lemon. No,
Oh.
Stonewall Jackson wasn't a president. That sounds like a toothpaste or something.
Okay, it was Thomas Jonathan Stonewall Jackson. Okay. I got my hit. I didn't think there was. Then we had President Andrew Jackson. He goes, Suzanne says, my grandparents never spoke to us kids ever. Didn't have a cookie baking granny. LOL. I had a beer drinking granny.
That sounds like a fun granny to me.
Yeah. And Suzanne says, Andrew Stonewall Jackson maybe really. He might have been related to him, but yeah, it's Thomas. I always thought that was Andrew Jackson who fought in the Confederate, because I knew he's presidents around the same time. So anyhow,
I think that was earlier.
Yeah, just maybe 30 years or so.
Yeah. Then then he went to go fight with Jubal Early, which I never even heard of this guy. Then she's telling the story, and she thought she wasn't gonna see Henry again because apparently she was talking about Sherman rounding up all the Confederates there and hanging them.
Yeah, he did a lot of that.
Yeah,
he did a lot of stuff that even his commanders would have found a little questionable, but no one was out there to question his methods.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently one of the kids dies in infancy here.
Yep.
And they worked their land. She's just recanting stuff. She's going to be fresh in the morning. Grandma escorts her up. Oh, here you go, Grandpa. Or not Grandpa. Here you go, Pops. Here's Boone's and Grandpa's cat shot where they're going to go fishing.
There you go.
Kind of hard to tell because it's in the shadows. But that does look like earlier when you were showing them sitting around the exterior, the sun was brighter and it didn't have that big old shade tree in front of it. Shade tree. But it looks like the same cabin from the original Beverly Hillbillies. They kept that cabin around for a while.
Oh, wow.
I bet you it is.
You're talking the first episode or two there, Pop?
Yes, the very first episode where they discovered the oil. and then I know the prop was still standing when they made it was kind of like a movie sequel where they tried to revive the series.
Oh, wow.
And that was like late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
Because they had Imogene Coco playing Granny and it didn't quite work out. It was a terrible episode.
No, this okay. Yeah, I haven't watched the Beverly Hillbillies, so I can't tell you.
You would love it, Gorilla. Gorilla, you would love it.
I remember watching the first episode, and I was addicted to the Hillbillies as a kid in the 60s. Like, well, my parents, we all watched it every week, right? Pop, because we love the
It
show
was
too.
immensely funny and immensely popular. It went on for like 11 seasons, I think.
Yeah, it was huge, and then the network geniuses decided to purge all the so-called country bumpkin shows.
Yeah, and then here we are, right here we are looking at the same network just a couple years later.
Yeah, I'll be
it
right
was
back.
crazy.
I'll be right.
Yeah, they killed what? They killed Beverly Hillbillies. They killed
Well,
Petticoat Junction.
everything but Hee Haw.
Everything, and he was the one show I actually couldn't stand,
Right,
and I
and
wish
that's
they
only
would have canceled.
it's only because Hee Haw was smart enough to move into syndication.
I guess, yeah, but
But then when did Gorilla? No, Gorilla stepped away from the mic. But Jerem, do you remember when Waltons premiered? Was it like 74, 73, 74?
Early 70s sometimes. I believe it was.
Yeah, because it was after the
maybe
purge.
70. Yeah, may have been even earlier than that.
Yeah, see, so they purged all those shows just only so they could have the Waltons just a couple years later. But I guess the difference is Waltons is drama, and all those other shows were sitcoms.
Waltons was 72.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty close.
That sounds about right, because I think we got our color TV about a year after that, and I finally saw the Waltons in color.
I know Gorilla would like Beverly Hillbillies. He would love it.
Oh, I love the Hillbillies. There were so many good episodes.
All right, I'm back. So anyhow, this was a really funny scene right here. He's like, did they bring any guns with them? Not that I know of. Then he's gonna go help them with. They're gonna go cut down a tree there. Yeah, he's telling don't let Grandpa Boone talk him into anything. They're gonna go check out the house here, and they leave Jason in charge, so he tells them to go clean their rooms. Blah blah
David
blah.
Jen.
They're getting up weeds, and now they're just relaxed. They're not catching many fish there.
I think actually Grandpa was the one that caught all the fish, if I remember at the end of this scene.
Yeah,
because Boone left and he had no fish at all, and Grandpa gets up and he's got like 3 or 4. I thought, yeah, that's like Grandpa. He's a good fisherman.
Yeah. Yeah, so and he's talking about filling his he's gonna move out the day. Oh, do I want to cut timber? Blah blah blah. So now they're cutting the tree down. Now, why do they make that rectangle notches? Is it just easier to push the tree down or what?
Controls the direction.
You make the notches because you don't want the tree to fall on your head, and that as Jerem just said, it controls the direction of the fall of the tree.
Okay.
Oh, I know that because my father back in like the 50s, early 60s was actually a lumberjack. One of those small time lumberjacks. He had a team of Clydesdale horses to haul the timber out. And him and my mom would go up into the mountains and fall trees. He would do it the hard way with an axe by hand. And man, he must have been a strong fellow back in those days, because that's not an easy life. And he would know exactly how to cut a notch in a tree to make it fall in the direction he wanted it to fall. So I'm quite familiar with that, actually.
Yeah. And welcome, Pickles.
Hey, LDG.
Hello, LDG. Good to see you. Oh,
Yeah,
LDG mentioned something earlier on Jill's stream about possibly doing a stream tonight. Are you still considering that, sir?
Yeah. We'll be done here shortly. We only got 3 hours of the show up left, so.
Yeah, we should be done in about half an hour, I'm guessing, right, Gorilla?
Yeah. And Scribber here said Andrew Jackson fought in the War of 1812. Well, yeah, I do. I think so too. Yeah, that too. And Suzanne says PvP. That shot of the front of the cabin looks a lot like the place in Cherryville.
Oh, that's cool, Suzanne. I know Cherryville. I've been there.
Yeah, and Suzanne loves the hillbillies there, Pop.
Oh, very cool.
And Scurvy says hee haw stuck.
No,
So
that's
the Green
Suzanne.
Acres and Petty. Oh, Suzanne says Hee Haw sucks. So did Green Acres at Petticoat Junction. I've never seen them.
Well, I do agree on Hee Haw, but I kind of like Green Acres and Petticoat, Suzanne. So I might have to reluctantly disagree with you on those assessments.
Yeah. And LDG says that's why I live in why that's why I live the underground. Technically, I'm always streaming.
Yeah, but you were saying something about it on your Job channel.
Yeah. So basically,
I
he's
may have
asking Wade.
misunderstood. Sorry.
Well, I thought he said something on Bird's channel too. There, because I yelled at him because I told him he'd be streaming over the Waltons. But anyhow, he's asking Wade if he's gonna sell those 60 cars. You know, a lot of people would be interested. He didn't think they're good enough to sell, but you know, let's talk about he's gonna be writing right about the family. It's really heartwarming scene here. These two, but this I'm already pushing it on copyright here.
You have been playing quite a few scenes.
Yeah. Then he's talking about to join the Navy. You wanted to go around the world and stuff. So yeah, they're finishing up. Then this is when they see the men start blasting, coming up the thing, scoping it out. Oh, that's not the scene I wanted to play. And he is, oh shit, I've been spotted.
That's a classic. That's a classic. Oh shit! Look, is it not?
Yeah.
That is a good scene.
Now it's just pretty much a standoff there.
Well, it's like Boone and Zeb are going, oh shit, it's going to hit the fan pretty soon.
And of course,
And
you guys mentioned that was the guy from Star Trek, right?
Oh, that is okay. Yeah. Then we got Boone here.
Like it might be the last time I ever said, what am I going to do today?
Uh-oh, that's not good.
Looks like Mr. Blake's done proved that feeling out for me.
The only thing in his favor, Boone, is he stayed on that side of the creek and he went back the way he come.
He was just scouting the territory.
Yeah, so now they're gearing up. They're getting back there. And they're checking it out. Like they're talking about hot, cold water. Now what? I suppose they couldn't mix the waters like they now do nowadays. They had to have two separate faucets.
My bathroom is just like that. Actually, Gorilla, it's got two. Well, actually, no, it does have one faucet. What am I saying? Okay.
Yeah,
mine has
a lot
two.
easier back then.
Mine has two. It depends on the design, is all. You know, whether they put a T into it. I mean, like a T pipeline joint is what I mean. So yeah, it's been around a long time. It's just that it depends on the style.
I have used things like that in the past, probably in my grandparents' place years ago. But you just have to put the plug in the sink and just mix the water in the basin, right? You know.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Then they were talking about the bathtub, blah blah blah. And John's talking about those Saturday morning baths when they first got together. We all know what that means.
Yeah.
So which kid do you think was made in the bathtub?
My mind went right to the dirty gutter zone as soon as he said, for Saturday night baths. Remember that, Olivia? And she's like, oh, that big grin tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah. Yeah, which kid was made in the bathtub?
I'm guessing probably half of them, the way they're smiling at each other.
Yeah.
Bath time. Oh, we don't need a rubber duck for that, do we?
Yeah. Then she's complaining about how crappy they made the houses there. And she didn't even know what linoleum was. And
she likes the lights, though. She likes the light switch.
Yeah. She loved the lights. She didn't know what linoleum was.
Is this her first time with electricity? Is that why she likes the lights?
Yeah, it's first time with electricity and
Gotcha.
running water. And you can tell that's just a painting on the painting there.
In the window.
Yeah. And I don't know why she feels like they're going to be suffocated in the flatlands. Like, it seems more open space than anything. But I don't know how good a deal this was. They have to give up their house and their property, but they're giving up 40 acres and literally a brand new house here on the flatlands.
Wait, they
Seems to me
gave up 40 acres and a brand new house for what?
Their house up in the top of the mountain so they could clear for the road. So basically, they give
I'm
up all their
confused. Then there was a brand new house up there that was getting cleared.
no, that
It was
that
the
house.
old. It was the old Beverly Hillbillies cabin we saw, right, Pop?
Oh, that's what I
Back
thought.
there.
Okay, that's what I thought. Because it sounded like Gorilla was saying they gave up 40 acres and a nice house.
No.
And I was thinking, huh?
No, this is the nice house and the 40 acres the old lady's in at the moment here.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
In exchange for a nice cabin and 400 acres.
Oh, they're giving up 400 acres.
Did
up
they
there.
state 400 in the
It's
episode?
the whole mountain.
I don't remember 400 acres being stated, but
Yeah. Okay, so basically, the house she grew up in that her and her husband built, and how much ever land they had up there for 40 acres in the government built house.
That's funny because I was just thinking it reminds me of Beverly Hillbillies because Granny was the same way. She preferred the old house. So they said, well, why don't you just bring it with you? And they brought the old house and plopped it right there next to their new house.
Granny was awesome. I love Granny.
And we got our answer from Jerry. He goes, yeah, I might still. No, it was not Birdseye who was mentioning it there. And Santa says, will the stream be on YouTube to join, though, that way?
Yeah, if you want to post a link somewhere, LDG, that would be very much appreciated.
Yeah.
I can't promise I'll be on all night, but I could probably pop on for a little while at least.
Yeah, they ask about time differences and that. What time? And PvP, every man loved Green Acres at Petticoat Junction. LOL.
Okay, well, thank you for that, Suzanne. I appreciate it. I
So-
just thought they were fun shows. They were silly, but they were fun.
That reminds me. So you all have time change coming up here soon, right?
Oh God, on Sunday the 10th. Ugh.
Oh, that's going to cause a lot of more confusion, but oh well.
Yeah, and get this. I got a guy from my cable company coming over on Sunday afternoon to switch out my old modem that's just about done and bring in the brand new modem. Yeah, I finally got around to calling and setting it all up, and everything's good. I scheduled it for Sunday afternoon. He's going to bring a brand new modem because the old one is giving me so much trouble.
What about you, Gorilla? Whatever happened to your new one?
It's installed and everything here.
Have you noticed any noticeable difference?
Yeah, it's a little bit faster here.
Good. Well, that's good to hear.
Well, I shouldn't have any more outage. I had a 12-hour outage like a week ago, and luckily it didn't affect me doing my work from home, but it was still pretty scary. And I took an hour with the technician on the phone to get him to reboot it from his end, which thank God he did finally after an hour. But he said 80% of his calls are people that have my old ancient 10-year-old modem going about how their internet dies. And he says, you've got to get the new modem, and I will in a couple days.
All right, let's keep on track here. So, we still got an hour left of the episode, or 49 minutes left.
Riding off on my horse tangent once again.
Yeah.
Which time do you usually try to end these, Gorilla?
I try to keep them under 2 hours.
Okay.
This is a double episode though, so it could go longer.
Yeah.
So it was a two-parter back in the day.
It was. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's like 90 minutes long when I watched it last night. Yeah. So it's a long one.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So anyhow, she's saying her lungs don't take it down here. That you die with your land and blah blah blah. So they're sitting there, Hollywood. This is where he wants to build his home at here, and he's telling John Boy how he's going where everything's gonna be at and all that. It'd be pretty cool if I could map stuff out in my head like this guy does.
He's got it all mapped out with the stones, right? Like that's how they do their property line, where they put a stone marker down.
And then build
And
your
he's
house around it where you know where
yeah.
everything is right. You every window you have it looking out of a certain direction for a certain reason. It'd be perfect.
I just
Yeah.
love this scene. I thought this is one of my favorite scenes in the episode because his passion for building his home from the ground up, and he's going, "We're going to have indoor plumbing for the first time," and I was like, "Wow, that's cool." I'm kind of wondering how he's going to get a pipeline up there with the water, but it was
Well, they
still kind of
probably have
fun.
a well up there, right?
They'd have to do well water, yeah, that would make sense,
Yeah,
Bob.
considering
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
distance, I'm sure it'd be well.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and the incline too. That would be a long uphill battle for any water pipe. So yeah.
Yeah.
The
So that
electricity is their big concern, actually, when you think about it.
yeah. Then John Boy says people work all their lives to build their stuff, and he's trying to think he'd hate to think of it as a dream there. Yeah, right here, he says one of the best lines.
Maybe if in writers
Nope, you
and
missed
wood
it.
carvers ran this country instead of lawyers and politicians, we'd
Oh.
be better off.
There you go.
That's right there. That's where I wanted it. You know, instead of the lawyers and the politicians, it's this working folk career and everything. We'd be way better
Well,
off.
he said what? Wood carvers and
Writers.
writers.
So
Yeah,
basically, he's talking about him and John Boy running everything instead of the
yeah,
politicians and lawyers.
yeah. That was a great scene. I totally got into what he was saying because I totally agree 100% with what he's saying there.
Well, it's nice of them to mention John Boy when you think about it, though, but a writer is not very important when it comes to society and building and creating a new society pretty much around you, right? I mean, it's nice to mention John Boy because he's a writer, but I don't know. I would be more into
Well,
like
well,
architecture,
Compared to a
engineering.
lawyer.
well, neither is a wood carver going to be, obviously a leader in society. But I think the sentiment was, well, I think the scene was about him and John Boy bonding because they very did much bond when they were together. In the last few scenes, finally they came together. I think it started when John Boy mentioned his wood carving was really excellent quality, and that's what started bringing them close together.
Well,
And
he
they
actually,
found
yeah, he used the
they
word beautiful, and I was thinking, ooh, that's kind of cringe these days.
but it was kind of like two artistic temperaments coming together and reaching a common bond, which I thought was actually quite a nice part of the episode, at least for me. Because I mean, I have my arts degree in that too. I can appreciate somebody that's an artist. So yeah,
Yeah. So anyhow, we got Grandpa Boone chum up here. And it looks like they're talking about they spotted him. They're moving in.
ah boy.
They've been lied to. They,
You think it's going to come to shooting, Grandpa?
More than likely.
I swear, I feel like the clock's been turned back 100 years.
yeah. So yeah, he's still. They're talking about rifles. He's telling him to go back to Waltons Mountain instead.
Glad to hear that, Suzanne. Congratulations. Let us know when you get all that settled.
No, what happened,
Yeah.
Suzanne? I got to look here.
Oh, she's getting her stuff hooked up today. The house phone and
Oh.
internet. So
Oh,
that's
that's
good to
good.
know. And she goes 9 p.m. here. Yeah, it's 9 here too. So basically, it's taking Walton's did everything with this land here. Yeah, so the Wade comes. He was wanting to talk to John, so he's sitting there waiting. They're coming back. I think this is the first time we see Grandma ride in the back of a truck. They're reminiscing how they're buying the bill, all that stuff, blah blah blah. He's sitting there waiting impatiently. They're weeding, and he's kind of rude. This was kind of rude of him. He goes, "Why did you get a tattoo?" Because I wanted one. And he comes telling
Lucas double-crossed you.
How?
The blasting started at the crack of dawn.
Blasted? How close?
Come an hour away.
Now hold on. You all heard Lucas give his word.
Looks to me, Lucas and Blake had it all planned. They wanted you off the mountain so they could move in.
Let me go see Lucas.
Any government people come to the house?
Not yet.
Well,
I'm gonna go home where I belong. Mary Ellen, come help me pack.
So John's gonna go talk to Lucas and all them.
I'm guessing Grandma
And-
has one suitcase.
Yeah, and she almost had him talk to the house there, but this pretty much stopped her.
Well,
And she
I
thinks
I can understand that she's got her back up about, this dickhead, moving in on her territory when he promised he would, give them a bit more time, right? So he's obviously, the guy is a jackal, obviously with no honor, and I can understand the old lady's reaction to that.
Yeah, so John's gonna go talk to him there. Now they're out here waiting with the guns.
Boy.
Per night.
They're come back. And John Boy's gonna go talk to him. And he asks him to pass on the message that John's going to talk to the senators, blah, blah, blah. They said they'll pass on the message.
There's nothing there but a rifle standing.
Right.
John Boy, I just come by where you were supposed to be standing guard. There's nothing there but a rifle standing up against a pine tree. Where you been?
I went to see Blake.
Did what?
I tried to see Blake.
You can tell Grandpa's awfully upset about that. But I don't think Grandpa's seeing the common sense or he's not thinking rationally on this.
No, of course not.
You mean you went
Yeah.
over to the enemy's camp, see that rattlesnake?
Grandpa, I was just trying to get us some more time. You make it sound like I'm a turncoat. Anyway, I didn't get to see him. He's gone to Brightwood.
Well, your rifle's still standing there against that pine tree. You intend picking it up?
Not when I don't have to. No.
He basically backtalks Grandpa and stuff. Then him and Boone.
Well, I'm sorry, but I didn't quite catch up. What did Grandpa say about Pine Tree?
The John Boy abandoned his post of standing guard by leaving his rifle standing up against the thing to go try to talk some sense into Mr. Blake.
Yeah, John Boy left his rifle leaning against the pine tree. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, not good.
Grandpa's thinking he's betrayed him. He's gonna have a breakfast there.
I think John Boy doesn't want to betray anybody. He just wants to find a middle ground. He wants it to come out reasonable where everybody can, go on, living. Like he doesn't want to see, he doesn't want to see his kin like, Grandpa getting injured or shot.
He's a pacifist.
I don't think John Boy's a pacifist.
Yes, he's a pacifist.
I don't see him as a pacifist.
He got that from his mother.
I think him as a realist because he knows that violence, they could take all the guns they have and fight for days and days against the government, but they would just keep sending marshals in until they were all dead if necessary. And I think John Boy doesn't want his kin to be killed, which is why he's trying to find a middle ground. At least that's the way I took the episode.
Well, you're both correct. Yeah, John Boy knows that it's a lost cause. But also, in one of the earlier seasons, episodes there, I think of season 1, he had trouble even going on his first hunt there to kill a bear that was terrorizing the family. It was only until John got attacked that he was able to shoot the bear.
Yeah, well, John Boy always struck me as a very rational character in his motivations, and for him to get emotionally to the point where he's going to do an act of violence against anything or anyone, there's got to be a valid reason in his mind to take that step. So that's, I think, in character for John Boy. That's the way I see it anyway, guys.
Yeah. So anyhow, John Boy and them are talking. Blah, blah, blah. This here was just a little extra scene. So he's fighting it out, and hey, it's the man of many words, Cody Guy. Welcome.
Hello, Cody Guy. Good to see you.
Hello, Cody.
So that says hello to Cody guy. So anyhow, he has it all staked out there. These.
I've seen this actor in other stuff too. The mustache dude. God, he's been in tons of shit, hasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna make it out of oak tree and stuff, I think.
That made me laugh when he was talking about the hardwood with his wife. I was thinking, my mind went in the gutter once again with the hardwood comment, but oh well.
Yep. And they hear blast in here, and we get more stock footage.
Yeah. The stock footage company must have made a mint off of these episodes.
Yeah. So they're gonna go park the truck and told them not to park at one passage to their property line. It's sideways.
Not 2 inches past? Okay.
Yeah. And John Boy's trying to talk about don't start shooting off the bat, At least don't be the first to pull it.
That our side should be the first to pull a trigger.
I'll depend on what men of my family want to defend my land.
John
Wade,
Boy
go.
has a point there, though. If the government pulls the first shot, then they're kind of more guilty, right? Because they started the violence. So John Boy's got a valid point. At least I think he does.
Yeah, then they got self-defense clause, maybe.
Exactly. Then they could claim self-defense, right? Exactly.
They can't even claim that at this point. They've already been hit with eminent domain, so they're trespassing on government land.
Yeah.
They didn't sign the title over, though, so that sucks.
Doesn't matter. It's not how eminent domain works in the United States.
I'll give in to the voice of cynicism, but oh well.
Yeah, eminent domain in the United States, pretty much, if the government wants it, they're going to take it, and what they'll offer what they consider a fair price. It doesn't matter.
You have to take it and like it.
And they'll slap you on the ass on the way out, I'm guessing, right?
Right. Right. If they want it bad enough, they'll take it.
Yeah. And here he's telling Lucas that they start blasting goat out again, and says he's pretty much saying he's overpowered.
Yeah, that's Doc from Gunsmoke. I knew I recognized him.
Oh, wow, really? Doc, wow.
The old man. I don't know what he's playing in here, but I think he's a politician in this episode.
He's a senator.
The senator.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was Doc, one of the mainstays on Gunsmoke.
That must have been like 5 or 6 years earlier then, I'm guessing.
Same network, right.
This was like, what, 74, this one? So, yeah, probably a decade earlier, maybe.
Yeah. All right, so we got this seed right here. Oh, I thought Grandpa was going to say something.
Are you just going to accept that?
You can't carry a gun. The least you can do is help with the lookout.
Okay, this ain't the scene I thought it was. And John Boy yells he has the right to speak his mind. Oh, right.
Right to speak my mind in this family, and that woman's going to sacrifice her kin.
You have no call to refer to your kin as fools.
Grandpa, you are wrong.
I suppose you think they're
I do not think they are.
If you do, go home. Or better yet, go join them.
So who's right in this scene? Who is right, John Boy or Grandpa?
Grandpa.
I think John Boy, I don't think he wanted to call them fools. I think he meant what they were doing would be foolish because they were going to lose the battle anyway. I think that was John Boy's point. I don't think he meant anything against the family or the kin. I don't think he called them fools at all.
Yeah.
I think he just said your actions could be foolish because they're going to lead to your harm. You're going to get shot. You're going to get killed. And John Boy doesn't want to see his kin or his grandpa die.
Well, I think part of the problem is Grandpa Boone come from the generations. You come and take it out of our cold dead hands. If we take a couple with us, all the more better.
Well, that's the thing. Boone and Grandpa are old school dudes, right? Because they're older guys. I get that. And John Boy's he's like an 18-year-old youngin', and he's just going by, what he's learned at school. And his personal experiences, a lot of reading a lot of books and, book learning, but he hasn't lived, in the real world a hell of a lot like Grandpa and Boone have. So they have these conflicting viewpoints, which totally to me made that was one of the things I really loved about the episode. It made total sense because they're coming from totally different viewpoints, sensibilities, and life experience. So I thought that was really great.
Sorry, who's Boone?
Boone is Grandpa's cousin there. He's the other one that looks like
Nephew.
Grandpa.
He's the guy with a huge white
Okay.
mustache.
Okay.
Well, yeah, how he starts letting down
The
the
guy
horn.
from Star Trek. When he
Yeah.
was sitting next to him by the water, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when they
Yeah.
were fishing. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember they had him in the Star Trek. He was the doctor. They took over the station from him, the insane asylum, and they had him in that chair, and they drained his mind.
Oh, really? Was that
Okay.
Dagger of the Mind? Oh, wow. I
Yeah,
didn't
Dagger of the
recognize.
Mind.
Oh, that's so cool. I didn't, with all his facial hair with a big mustache, I did not place him. Like, oh, I love that episode. That's cool.
That'd be Morgan Woodward.
Yes,
Okay.
that's him.
Great
So,
actor.
he had his own teaching school in Hollywood, a small independent production. Him and Alfred Woodard were instructors, and Alfred Woodard, for those of you in the know, played Mr. Kimball on Green Acres. So those two were friends, and they had their own little acting school that they were running in Hollywood.
That's awesome. I never knew that. Thanks, Bob.
All right. So we got the marshals and Mr. Blake here scoping it out, so they know they're coming back for next time. They're scoping them out, seeing how there is. They're saying there's nothing else we could do. Yeah.
I don't wish this to sound callous, but Mr. Walton should know we've all been through the emotional ringer on this issue before.
The chair recognizes Mr. Walton's privilege as a citizen to speak before us.
Thank you, Senator.
I like how John Boy just rubs his mouth there right before he's trying to think how he's gonna phrase everything that's running through his mind. That's some good acting from Ralph Waite.
You see, you gentlemen may not understand why we're here. You're city folk. We come here to talk about mountain people.
Now, just a minute, Mr. Walton. What has that got to do with it?
It's got a lot to do with it, Senator. You see, these folks up there, they settled those Blue Ridge Mountains long before any of us were born. And their ways haven't changed since they come over from the old country.
Yeah, he's got a point. They're settling their ways. They're not gonna, that is notice that a lot there that the people who live out in the country versus the people who live in the cities are way different. And I'm pretty sure Pops noticed that.
Very much so.
Moving from San Francisco down to Arizona.
Well, worse when I moved from California to Arkansas. That was even worse. I mean, my God, talk about a climate shock.
Yeah.
Corinne Walton is one of them.
Weather alone.
You must admit,
kill you.
Mr. Walton, that progress is a vital part of life in these United States.
Yes, sir, Senator. I admit that. But you see, it's hard for this old lady who has a little vegetable patch, slaughters 3 or 4 hogs a year, takes a little game from the mountain.
Yeah, progress for progress. You don't need progress for progress' sakes, though. Is a problem.
It's hard
And
for her to
they
understand
forgot about
anything
that a
about
long time ago.
Yeah.
Or it could be in that case is progress for the sake of make people think about something else than tar and feathering us. Which was a real possibility for FDR.
And it's got to be awful frightening for her to be asked to move to the city, especially since she hasn't been asked to move since her husband came back from the war in 1865.
Frightening it may be, Mr. Walton, but it hardly justifies taking arms against the federal government.
That's true, Senator.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other reasons to take up arms against the federal government.
Yeah.
These folks up in the mountain, they don't spend much time reading books, and they don't spend much time talking about what justifies what. All they know is they got a little bit of land, and it's their land. And they feel like it's slipping out from under them, and they don't understand.
Yeah. John has a really good point here. I think but nothing's going to change it.
Well, the thing I wonder about this scene, as much as I think it's awesome and I love it, because I just always loved his acting skills in anything, especially a good scene like this one with good dialogue. It's like, um, okay, I'm amazed that they even actually would listen to this, to John, because they weren't listening to any other common person before this. So I'm actually amazed they gave him an audience to even consider what he had to say for a couple of minutes here. That surprised me, and that felt kind of unrealistic, I have to say. So as great as this scene is, it didn't ring true for me. I would say, Gorilla.
Well,
No,
back
he
in the
comes in
day,
with the senator. That's what gets him the audience.
yeah. Well, back in those days, you could actually talk to your senators, not like nowadays where they tell you just to fuck off. But
Send me an email or a voicemail, and my robotic computer will say "fuck you."
yeah, pretty much.
Now, what we're talking about here is old age and home and a place against your idea of progress. Now, those young folks up there,
yeah,
they may not like the idea, but they still can change. They can adjust. They may even be glad it happened, but there must be some way that those old folks can spend their few remaining years up there.
Yeah, I don't think we need to play much more of this, but yeah, it's pretty much saying up there, they're just frightened, blah blah blah. That's pretty
It's
much the
very,
gist of it.
it's a very impassioned, excellent speech by John. I think one of the better scenes in the episode for me, at least. But of course, it's gonna be futile because the law is the law, and the law's made up its mind, and the law is going to do what the law is
Yeah.
going to do, and you country bumpkins on the mountain are, you don't count, and we're just going to push you aside in the name of progress, which I think was the main theme in the entire episode was traditional values against so-called progress. At least that's what I thought the episode was about.
Yeah. And here she's writing a letter to Roosevelt asking to be buried next to her husband.
Oh.
And she's saying fighting as she's able, blah blah. And she's basically asking to be buried next to her husband. And they just start blasting all over the place. They just keep blasting and blasting and blasting. And we got
Bastards.
this scene here.
The funny thing is, she's writing to Roosevelt, and if Roosevelt were there, he would take great glee in pulling the trigger himself on her.
Oh yeah, here we get to see his tombstone.
1921, so he's been gone 21 to 36. He's been dead, what, 15 years at this point?
We could. Yeah.
So
So
she's
and
been
she's
a
asking
lonely
for
old
his
woman
advice.
for a while.
Oh, here, her first son was that died in childbirth there, or in infancy. It was also Henry Walton.
Henry Jr.? Wow.
Yep. So we got this scene here.
No, that's the thing what I loved about the old lady. I felt a lot for her having to change her life because of so-called progress. Because, she did go through such hardship. She lost, an infant early on that passed on. And she's had a hard life, this lady. And she's lived it with, dignity. And she is like one of those old trees that might be gnarled and misshapen, but it's got a certain dignity to itself as it has survived for many, many, many years. And I have to have great respect for the old lady. I did really enjoy her character in the episode.
The more insulting part is the government's giving her pennies on the dollar for what her land is worth.
Well,
Yeah.
whatever.
But anyhow, if you notice that Boone's shaking or Wade is shaking, Grandpa Boone are all steadfast, ready to fight. But Wade here is shaking. He's holding on to his wife there, and John Boy right here. He's just fiddling with his class ring and stuff. Here we got the two deputies and the marshal coming up.
This is Henry Walton. Be it hereby known that notice of eviction of your property and dwelling is in effect as of this date. That you and all said persons residing on this property shall immediately and peacefully legally vacate all land and dwelling belonging to you.
Yeah, so it's very. I can't believe that he is able to hear him. Then she yells, "You're not coming on our property," and they move forward. And then this happens. Well, they're all getting cocked up.
It won't work.
If it doesn't work, I'll be back.
John Boy!
So John Boy goes to try to talk some sense into. Oh.
Stop! Get out of the way before you get hurt.
I want to talk to you.
I'm through talking.
Mr. Blake, think about this. They're not bluffing.
That guy is such a scumbag. Mr. Scumbag Mustache Man. I hate that guy so much.
Well, that's why he has the mustache to show that he's evil.
Oh, I just hated him so much. I mean, I know we're supposed to hate him, but I just really hated him.
Yeah. He always had that mustache. Didn't matter what role he played. Yeah, because he was bald. So to compensate, he always had that mustache.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And notice it was Wade that fired the first shot. It was Wade who fired the first shot at him.
Yeah, well, he has those fresh instincts.
So one of the tires died. Okay.
Yeah, they hit the tire. They hit the tire with the shot.
Yeah. What gets me here though is John Boy wanted to be the peacemaker and try to let rational thought rule the day and come to a compromise. And who gets shot first?
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that here.
Where is it?
Well, Wade started firing. He assumed John Boy was hitting down. So that's what got them firing.
John Boy wasn't even armed.
Yeah.
That could be a crime.
And right there, that deputy nowadays would be in prison because they knew he was unarmed.
And he was only trying to shout out for Zeb to make sure Zeb was safe, right? Going, Grandpa!
So he's doing the old Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just like, and then all of a sudden they come to their senses when actually there's blood being spilled. They finally go, "This is not going to work."
Johnny!
And you can tell Grandpa's scared because he's not even calling him John Boy or John. He's going Johnny.
You know, Zeb does not want to lose a grandson. Definitely.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a hell of a run for an actor that age.
Luckily, it looks like he was just
Good.
wounded, like a side wound. Nothing's critical in the organs, but still.
Yeah. He got shot.
They
One of the
cut
best
that
places
several times, but still, even that space of about 50 to 100 feet there that they had that old man running, that's impressive at his age.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good old Zeb. He's a
Well,
mountain
the
man.
adrenaline's pumping now, so.
Grandpa, you all right?
Are you hurt, son?
Well, me, I'm fine.
I'm fine. I just had a big
been
bullet
shot.
wound.
Yeah.
I'm bleeding out of my side. I'm perfectly
He's like,
good.
I've been shot.
I'll collapse now and prove how fine I am.
Yeah, he's saying I'm being grabbed by son John. Then he goes, John Boy's been hurt, so John goes and runs him to the hospital. And that's the part that pissed me off. We never did hear how John Boy's doing at the end.
Well,
Then they say
obviously he's okay.
Yeah, they said he turned us down, and she said no more. This would they tell me right here.
We'll do as we're told.
Not me.
We'll all do as we're told.
Mama?
Now, this is how you write a strong woman right there. She's the matriarch of the family there. She's telling the family we're going to back down. And Boone goes to question her. She just has to give him the look, and then they all fall in line there. That's how you write a strong woman.
She is a strong woman, though. Through the entire episode, she's an extremely strong character.
Yeah. Nowadays they will have been having the woman talk down to the man and all that. No, she just put her foot down as the matriarch of the family. There, they listened to her instead of having her talk down to him.
What's great about an episode like this, girl, is they didn't do the Mary Sue nonsense like they would have done nowadays. They just kept it real, and there are strong elderly women like that. I mean, I know my one granny. I love my one grandmother on my dad's side. We would hang out and we'd smoke cigarettes together and talk all kinds of shit on weekends. I'd go over there and spend 2, 3, 4 hours talking with granny about all kinds of shit, and she was a strong lady. So I exactly know what a strong female elderly lady is about.
Yeah. And here we see her clean up, and she wants to leave the house the way it was when they first moved in there.
Well, it don't matter because they're going to tear it down. They're going to send the bulldozer in tomorrow. So
it's the principle of the thing.
It's pride. It's pride. Yes, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. So blah blah blah. That's pretty much the end of the episode. There, we leave on our epilogue. The house is gone now, along with the animal shelters and outbuildings. The forest has grown up, and there is no sign that once a man and a woman struggled there to raise a family and make a life for themselves. Only the tiny graveyard endures, not far from where the house itself stood. With Martha Corrine's eviction from Blue Rock Creek, our link to the pioneer past was broken, but it remains with us today in our heritage, in our history, and in our pride. Martha Corrine died in 1939. She was buried up on the mountain beside her husband and infant son. Wade and Vera settled in the southwestern part of the state, where Wade built their home and began a career which saw him become one of the country's greatest talented woodcarvers. Boone Walton was killed by a truck as he crossed the highway one night in 1943. He was carrying 2 gallons of moonshine.
He probably should have sampled it before he crossed the road.
Started out with 3 gallons of moonshine, but by the time the truck came along, he was down to 2.
He probably finished one off before he crossed the road, right? That's why he wasn't seeing too straight.
Yeah. All right. So, Suzanne says, PvP, I would love for you to take a look at my artwork.
That'd be great. I'd love to take a look at your artwork. Gosh, I don't know how we'll do it, but yeah. I need to get my artwork up too. I should post it somewhere one of these days. I'm not sure how to do it, but I got a lot of stuff from sadly, I did a lot of stuff like 30 years ago, but I kind of fell off after about 5 years, and I haven't done a lot in the last 10 or 15, but I did some really good work back in the day that I should show off eventually. Yeah.
Yeah. And Suzanne says culture shock. And people
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you. That's the term I was looking for.
Yeah. And Suzanne says people forget how quickly I have folks look at me sideways because we haul water. Well, there's nothing wrong with that if you can haul your own water there.
We do that here where I live because we live so remotely. So every day you see trucks driving all over town and they have those big tanks in the back.
Yeah. Alrighty. So PvP, how would you rate this episode?
I got to give this one a solid A. I really like it. I think it's a really good episode. A very good way to introduce the 3rd season of the Waltons, because believe it or not, guys, this is one. When I watched this last night, I was thinking, holy crap, I actually remember this. I actually remembered it scene for scene, like visually. I remembered it, and that's pretty rare because I haven't seen the Waltons probably in 20 years for the most part, right? But this was one that stuck in my memory banks, and I remembered pretty much every bit of it, and I was like, wow, this is really good. So yeah, I'll give it an A rating because I think it's a good story. I think it's a relevant story. It's basically about traditional, the traditional ways of life up against what we would term modernity. And I think we're still struggling with that stuff when, we think about the stuff going on with, AI and all that scary shit that we're facing. So, you know, I think there is a lot of the old school versus the new school conflict in this episode. And I did like John Boy trying to be, the moderator between the two extreme sides. And then, of course, for trying to be a moderator, he's the only guy that got shot, which I thought was actually kind of appropriate in a way because sometimes they do want to kill the messenger if the messenger's not being too extreme, right? So I really like this one. So yeah, I give this one a solid A, Gorilla.
Alrighty, Pop, do you have a grade or?
Well, I came in late, as you guys are aware of. From what I saw, great episode, B plus.
Alrighty.
Great
Jared?
casting, by the way. They had a lot of recognizable faces in it, so I enjoyed that.
Alrighty. And Jerem?
I'd have to say B plus as well. Great guest stars. You are seeing John Boy plateau in his acting ability, though.
Oh yeah.
He was growing for quite a while, but unfortunately, you can tell he's peaking right now. It's not going to get any better for him.
Okay. As for me,
go, girl. Give your assessment first.
All right, so for me, I thought this was a fantastic episode. Though it did have a little bit of padding in that edit out, but yeah, great. You got the older and younger generations conflicting. You got the progress for progress' sake competing against conserving our past and conserving our cultures and our heritage there, and back and forth. And then it had some tense points there. I'm giving this an A plus.
Yay!
Yeah. So, all right.
It's a solid episode for sure.
Yeah. It sit there and says, well, time to get back on the art saddle there, PvP.
I really should. I get your message there, guy.
And Suzanne says, I can send it to you, Instagram message.
Oh, jeez. I haven't used Instagram so long. I'm not sure if it worked, but.
Okay.
By the way, earlier when I mentioned Boone's wood carvings, I couldn't come up with the official kind of art speak term for that kind of thing. But I think it would be classified as outsider art, as in outsider art is an umbrella term for any art made by self-taught individuals who are untrained and untutored in the traditional arts with typically little or no contact with the convention of the art worlds. So most are poor. So I think that kind of suits him to a T. I think he was definitely an outsider wood carving artist.
Alrighty. And Suzanne gives it an 8. And you fellas have a blessed night. You too, Suzanne.
You too, Suzanne. Love you.
Said 8 out of 10. And PvP, it's called woodworking. Yeah, it is woodworking there. But anyhow, I got to get going here. So thank you, Sci-Fi Sit There, for coming. He usually streams on Saturdays from about 4 o'clock Central Standard Time there. So make sure to check that out. Thank you, Suzanne X Team, for coming. Thank you, Cody Guy, for coming. Thank you, LDG, for coming. If you ever need any IT help or need a place to hang out, there's always freethenet.org/underground, or just Google search Job on Google there. He'll be streaming later tonight. Thank you, Scurvy, for coming. And I think that scrolling. And thank you, Taylor Swift, greater than Star Wars or Disney Star Wars and MCU. All right, PvP, what do you got going on?
Just working on music playlists still. I've found I found a source that has like 500 songs on it with power pop bands. So I'm about halfway working through that from like a week ago, and so yeah, it's probably going to be a couple weeks before I get another stream uploaded because I try to limit it to like 25 songs because I don't want to overload people with too many songs. So that's pretty much it. So it's probably going to be a little while before I do much on my channel, but that's cool.
All right, Pop, what do you got going on?
Well, hope it. I'll be up for a stream tomorrow night of Unleashing the Lab, and then hoping to be back in full swing next week, starting with Lost in Space on Monday, Tuesday, horror sci-fi stream, Wednesday, Gilligan's Island. I got my fingers crossed, so I'm hoping to be there. Thank you for having me on tonight, Gorilla.
Yeah, not a problem. What do you got going on, Germ?
Tomorrow, we'll be watching Dog City for Saturday morning cartoons. Tuesday, we'll have another episode of Andromeda. And Thursday, we'll have the Nerd Night Roundtable.
Alrighty. As for me, tomorrow will be Shawshank Redemption. Sunday, we are watching Into Flint, or something with Flint. Or Into Flint.
As I've said several times, in like Flint.
In like Flint, okay.
In like Flint, 1967. I'm sure you can find it, Gorilla.
All right. Then for our Chris Talk, we'll be watching Up, and then on next Friday will be season 3, episode 2 of the Waltons. So you guys have a good night. Remember to be a gorilla.
Good night, guys.
Bye, everybody.